Big Bass Life with another informative video, man. Check this out.
Assignment editor Danica Hill, who's in our newsroom right now. Danica, Karmello Anthony is expected back in court this week. So what can you tell us about this case so far?
Yeah, that's right. So we do know that Karmello Anthony is expected to return to court this week with a new legal team in an effort to overturn his murder conviction. So here's the details and information that we know about the case right now. The judge is expected to hear the defense's request to remove Judge John Roach Jr. from all remaining post-trial proceedings.
Karmello Anthony update. I ain't gonna even hold you. Let's go and get to this clip and then I'll come right back. All right?
There we go.
You hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, what we got?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Recused, man. Recusal granted, baby. I told you about that boy Russell Wilson. He a bad boy. He a bad boy. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
We got action, baby.
So how did it go? What was it like inside of there?
Mike made it inside. I couldn't get inside. The overflow was full and the courtroom was full. So, like I told you, in talking to Russ, I could talk to you about it now. His plan was just to get straight to the meat of it, man. He didn't want any fluff. This isn't, and I think my comrade here spoke about that. This isn't about how the judge feels about you. This isn't even based on the judge's rulings. This is squarely based on the judicial canons that have to do with him being impartial. That's all it's based on. So you want to keep arguments simple when it's simple, and I believe Russell Wilson did that, man. And I'm happy about it.
Right. So what's the next step now?
Well, tomorrow they have the motion for new trial, which Judge Roach will obviously not be presiding over. So, it's still a fight, man. It's still a fight. We gotta keep our fists up. We can't drop our, we gotta keep fighting, and we'll have more information for you tomorrow. But the appeals process is still in full throttle. But it's just you gotta knock each domino over one at a time, man.
Right. Were you able to see Karmello's parents? Were you able to visit with them at all?
Yes, yeah. I didn't visit with them yet. They're speaking to their attorney, but I will get with them and see how they feeling about it, man. But I mean, they got to be able to see a little bit of light, at least an inkling of light at the end of the tunnel. An appeals process is a long tunnel, but a little bit of light is some hope, man.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I think you're going to come back and join me for the Nolan Wells prayer visual in about 45 minutes or so. Will you be able to join us?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay,
yeah, for sure. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Attorney Andrew Wilkerson. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the update. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me do my dance. Let me do my dance. Yeah.
Now, what's important about this Karmello thing, we gonna see all you Nancy Grace, auntie, calling her, oh, go Nancy, you Nancy talking real, Nancy on they necks.
When I mean I respect what Nancy Grace is doing.
I am going to refresh your memory, right?
Y'all see you on the screen.
Nancy Grace, she's invited Officer Grace Batum Tatum on her show.
So our first victim of today is Miss Nancy Grace.
Like, she already showing what side she on.
I am extremely suspicious of Nancy Grace.
Texas track star stabber walks free after a brutal stabbing of a football star. This as the victim's family is attacked. The victim's mother's home swatted. This as we learn the killer's family is set to buy a new house with donations.
Okay, what about Karmello Anthony? It's a lot of y'all who support Karmello Anthony are all in these comments, all on social media talking about Auntie Nancy, Auntie Nancy. Really, is that easy to get into the family, huh?
Damn right.
Real rock from the rock, an unusual musical happening in a most unusual place.
Yeah.
The state prison.
Yeah.
All of y'all talking that talk, we gonna see how fast she go to backpedaling. We gonna see where y'all really sit with Nancy when she go to speaking real ill about Karmello. You gotta understand, in her videos, she was calling the young brother, no criminal charges, no nothing. Athlete, simply protecting himself. That's up to debate. That's up to opinions. Protecting himself, because it seems like in the video, it's more than one people getting at Karmello. So him pulling out, they calling a weapon, but pulling out his blade and doing what he do, he's here. He's alive. He lives to see another day. Unfortunately for the brother Nolan Wells, had he had a blade, he could have possibly been here. But any two ways, we're not going to even get into that. This is about all you Nancy Grace grazers, you Nancy Grace glazers. You sprinkled donut riders, you pea riders. All of y'all glazing, Nancy, Auntie Nancy. We're going to show you, Nancy's going to show you who she really is.
The admitted stabber of an unarmed boy at a track meet, for Pete's sake, a high school track meet, has walked free. Listen to this.
This jury pool, and I'm referring to the petit jury. The petit jury, not...
Listen.
I mean, those are not white jurors.
Listen, y'all.
That is a lie.
Listen.
Voluntary manslaughter. The jury knew about those possibilities. He was convicted in first-degree murder. And I want to clarify something that we have heard over and over and over, that this was an all-white jury. It was not. That is a lie. There were Asian jurors. There were, I believe, this off the top of my head, 3 Hispanic jurors. There were jurors that were from Middle East descent.
Yes.
I mean, those are not white jurors.
They ain't black.
Jury pool, and I'm referring to the petit jury. The petit jury, not the pool of 200 that you bring in to strike the jury. The petit jury is the 12 jurors and the alternates. In the petit jury, there were Hispanics, Asians, and people of Middle Eastern descent. So why is it just so convenient for people to say it was an all-white jury, it wasn't fair? That is not true.
That is not true. It was an all-white jury. Middle Eastern ain't black. Hispanic ain't black. They don't identify as black. They don't get treated as black. You got to do... Bro, I don't even want to say that. Nancy Grace, you're disgusting.
And I really think when it really boils down to it, she's going to be hush-hush about it. But check this clip out, how she's calling him as if to degrade the young brother by calling him stabber. We're going to see if you really feeling Nancy now, Auntie Nancy. I never liked Nancy Grace. I always got my third eye and my third eye open when it comes to them folks. Always. That's foundational Black American lineage protocol. That's protocol. Always be leery, even when they on your side. Even when you think they on your side. Because when you think they on your side, they'll switch up in a minute and have you looking stupid, el stupido. Anyway, let's get to this clip.
I am going to refresh your memory, right? So our first victim of today is Miss Nancy Grace. Miss Nancy Grace was very vocal about defending the Metcalf family. She even interviewed Jeff Metcalf, right? the racist that came online, called Karmello Anthony a watermelon felon, came online, called a black woman a N-word with the hard ER, a father that went on a press tour trying to defend his son's behavior, knowing that his sons had a arrest record for racist graffiti. But nobody want to talk about that. Nobody want to bring that up. Everybody want to act like they forgot what they said. But I'm here to remind you guys. But while you guys coming on in, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever we go live, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it.
Joining me, an all-star panel, making sense of the fact that a stabber
Look at her.
killed an unarmed high school track star and heard from the bond hearing about how the stabber's family needs to, quote, survive, how they need more money in addition to the nearly $500,000 they have raised online. But Dave Mack, I've heard very little about what the victim's family has endured on top of their son being murdered, with his twin brother trying to stop the flow of blood. In addition to that, we now know there have been attacks on the victim's family, and the victim, Austin Metcalf's mother's home, was swatted. What happened?
Shout out to Matt, but the Snow Roach, Judge Snow Roach, has been recused. That means he will not be residing on the bench when Karmello comes back in. Long way to go, because they still have to argue the facts for a new trial, which is even great. That's great that we got him out the way. Now we have to move forward. But still, you got to keep one eye open on these folks, because they always have tricks up their proverbial sleeve. And as far as Nancy Grace, we're going to see what kind of great or good remarks she going to have when it comes to the young brother Karmello Anthony. She's already showed her butt by comparing the twins of the Metcalfs to her twins. How convenient how white folks compare, each other to each other. But when it comes to us, as always, we have to look through every nook and cranny for every piece of evidence that may lay on top of each other and may look so convincing, like the audio. And they try to oh no, I don't hear that. It's fake, it's this, it's that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of funny how the evidence, we got to go through everything got to be locked in step, in key. Everything has to be picture perfect for us to get justice, for us to have any kind of freedom, any kind of, it's just crazy. But I want to see all you Nancy Grace Glazers, all you Nancy Grace nut riders. We will see what you're going to be talking about now when Nancy come out there stomping for the Metcalfs. Because I don't think she going to do a reverse spin and go back the other way. She going to spin the block once again, gang. Yeah, how the youngster said. Yeah, gang, she going to spin the block again, gang. But this has been Big Bad's Life with another informative video, man. What say you? And let's see if you're going to be talking about Auntie Nancy, because Auntie Nancy ain't going to like this. Free Karmello. All right?
Real rock from the rock, an unusual musical happening in a most unusual place.
Yeah.
The state prison.
Big bass, take out the trash, count the money, get the bag, talk that shit, run that bag, I'm your dad, put belt the ass, belt the ass, put belt the ass, belt the ass, belt the ass, belt the ass, belt the ass. You ain't a bitch, don't talk to me, don't walk with me, I'm all the lead. So many rappers playing games behind the scene, they call believe. I talk it real, they talk it cheap.